Recording now. Hey everybody, I am Jessica Bancroft. I'm the Assistant Director of the Graduate Professional Studies program. And today we're going to go through some basics about the program, but more importantly, I want you to know the resources you have access to on campus, the roles Danielle and I play as advisor and assistant director, and be available to answer any of your questions, and really just, you get to see, you've been interacting with Danielle for a while. I'm new to you, and I send out emails through the Engage platform frequently. I kind of do the pep talks, and this whole summer I did, well, for the last 9 months, I've been doing videos just for fun, sort of like one of them was from a harbor in Maine where I was absolutely freezing and had on like 4 layers of LL Bean and felt like that was a really good time to share with you Maine. So I'm in DC. I'm in Maryland, right next to the University of Maryland College Park. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen with the share screen with the PowerPoint. I'm going to confirm that you guys can all see that, no problem. Is that a yes, Danielle? You can see.
I don't see it yet.
Yeah,
I don't see it yet. Awesome. Let's try that again. Share screen. You got it?
Yep, got it.
Awesome. So, welcome to orientation. Couple things I wanted to let you know right away. Some vocabulary that we use. You may already know this, but we'll tell you that we'll say SPEX, S-P-E-X, and that stands for the School of Professional Extended Studies. And we'll also talk, from time to time, we'll throw out words like GPS, and those are our graduate online programs. So hopefully that vocabulary helps in general when you're. Let me start the slideshow, that helps. All right, so learning outcomes for today. Hi, Bob. What we're gonna do today is Danielle and I will introduce ourselves. We're gonna talk about the resources on campus, give you some quick tips on how to be successful in a graduate online program, and then talk about some of the extracurriculars that we have in the program. So I began to introduce myself, but I am going to turn this over to Danielle. Danielle, if you just want to, let people know a little bit about, what's in your wheelhouse when it comes to advising, et cetera, and then we'll talk about what I do.
Awesome, thanks, Jess. So my name is Danielle. I will be your advisor for the program. So I will be the person registering you for your classes and also taking care of your course plans. So if you have any questions about which classes you'll take when, if you're registered for the upcoming semester, or any questions regarding registration or a course plan, that's my wheelhouse. But you can also reach out to me if you have any questions pertaining to the university, like it's your first point of contact.
Excellent. Thanks, Danielle. I will say that we're certainly lucky to have Danielle as an advisor. She's been with AU now about 9 months or so. Went by wicked fast, didn't it? And just to be clear, is if you're like, who am I supposed to contact? Jess, Danielle, it doesn't matter. We will frequently forward emails back and forth to each other on the things that Danielle is an expert in. So just keep in mind, you can't guess the wrong person. So as I said, my name is Jessica, and as the assistant director, I do advising with students who need some extra support, who have questions about if the program continues to be the right fit for them, because that's really important to us, that the program that you're in meets your needs, and be that career goals or intellectual goals, or I am home and I need to do something with myself goals. but from time to time, we have students who are just feeling like online's not the right thing, or they need a break in the middle of the term or in the middle of the program. It's really okay. I'm going to tell you this right now, that life gets in the way of life. And so if something comes up and you think right now I need a break for 8 weeks, you just communicate that with Danielle and me. And that's something that we can do for you. And other things that I do, like I said, I'll communicate through the Graduate Professional Studies page on Engage. 9 times out of 10, I will. It's the best way for me to keep in touch with everybody, send out a big message. Again, I like to do videos, just if nothing else, I amuse myself. If I amuse like 3 of you, that works out pretty well for me. And I just want you to know that what Danielle and our goals are to have you feel that you have a contact in the program, that you are not alone trying to make decisions, that you don't have to know all of the answers. The last time many of you were in school, you were a senior in college, and by that time you kind of had the feel of it, and you know where to go and when and all of those things. And many of us who do graduate programs, myself included, haven't been in school in a long time. And so please, please do not hesitate to reach out and ask questions. This program is yours. And it is our goal to meet you where you are and provide to you what you need. And that can be different for everybody. So keep that in mind. We have, I'm also the, well, you guys are 2 years out on this, but I'm the commencement coordinator for the college. So when 2 years from now, which is going to go by silly fast, we'll be talking about graduation. If you have concerns regarding coursework, I can tell you that that I don't change anything with coursework. Really falls to the faculty, but you're always welcome to contact me, and I can push that forward for you. And so that's us. Oh, look at that! I put a transition in there. That's fun. I want to remind you that the faculty with whom you're working, they're experts in their field. And in many ways, that's different from undergraduate, or say if you were doing a master's in history. You're going to, the people that you are working with are, they've done a tremendous amount of work and they're just, again, experts in what you need to learn at that time. We have both Bob Stokes and Matt Winkler with us today. Hi, Bob. Bob is our full-time faculty in the HR program. And just to give you an example of his experience, I'm going to get this right. Bob was the Director of Career Services at Villanova. Bob, were you a provost of some kind?
I was Assistant Vice President for Academic Affairs at Villanova.
All right. So Bob has a wealth of knowledge. Not only he runs some career development program for us, and so students have been really lucky and have actually turned to Bob for help with resumes and prepping for interviews as they get ready to go to interviews. And we've had students, we had a woman who in the middle of the program applied for director, this is HR, applied for director of human resources for a school department, I think in Lancaster, PA, and she got the job. So I like to share stories like that because it shows the success of the program. One of the things I do want to say about faculty, and I'll put sort of a shout out for them, is that because they're experts in the field and they're not all full-time faculty, please be patient with them when you have a question for them or send an email. We've had no concerns with faculty responding to students very quickly, but if it takes them just a little longer than you want it to, they all have jobs. And while you're extremely important, much like when you're in group work and someone shoots you an email in the middle of the day and you just can't get to it, like give the faculty that same sort of space. And if you just aren't hearing back from them, let me know, and I'll just check in and see what's going on. So Course expectations. Here is what we expect out of you. And I will say that being successful in this program, it's simple. It's not always easy, but it's simple. And the things that you see up here, I know you can all read, but I'm going to touch on them really quickly. Communicating with faculty is regularly. They are your go-tos. And if you contact Danielle and me on something that's definitely course related, we will refer you back to the faculty as the primary contact. So please don't think that we're just pushing you off, but we all sort of stay in our lanes. And when it comes to things that are going on in a course, the faculty are the people with whom you should be working. We want you to be an active participant. This program, you're going to find that you're in, especially starting right off in Spec 600, you're in group work frequently. And I'd really like you to think about this program as what you can get out of it, and how to best utilize the people around you and in your groups, because you're all coming through it with a different level of experience in your field. But most importantly, this is not a program to do as little as possible just to get by. Like you're just wasting finances if you decide that's how you want to do this. So engagement with your groups, with the people in your course, and with your instructors, it's going to really enhance this program for you. I've sent out emails already, and I'll keep sending them out because here I am a broken record. Meet course deadlines. Want to screw up your course right away? Get behind. P.S. Life gets in the way, and some people are going to get behind. And that's when we go back to communicating with your faculty. Everybody has different standards and policies on the late work that they'll take, but I can tell you that the people who struggle in the program get behind. And it's really hard to catch up because we are in a sprint right away. 8 weeks is going to fly by, and it's just going to keep going. And I implore you, do everything you can to turn in your work on time. Other people are going to be relying on you to do that within your groups. And because, you might turn in late work and think it's no big deal, but your instructor, that's extra work on them once they've passed that point. And so you'll probably lose points on what you're turning in. There's no reason that you shouldn't be getting A's and high B's in this program. You are capable. I reviewed every one of your applications, and you are capable of achieving that, provided you are attentive and you participate and you communicate. And then basically you need to have a computer. You need to, get the books, do the work. If you have problems with accessing those things, for the most part, I'm not going to be able to help, but I'm going to be really supportive. So just keep all of those things in mind. I know I'm going through this very quickly. We'll circle back around for questions at the end, but I want to make sure I get through as much of it as possible. So here's, I copied this, I think, from Northwestern, and I should have made a note of that on the bottom. I'm just going to let you take a quick look at how to be successful learning online. Again, many of us, the last time we were in school, we sat in chairs and in a classroom. And before I did an online program, that's how I identified a real course. So this is very real. And to be successful, you really want to set goals, set up a space in your home where you are most likely to be studying. It used to be that we'd say, don't do it in bed, don't read in bed, don't do these things in bed, like have a corner where you work. And frankly, we don't all have the space in our lives, in our living spaces, depending on if you're sharing space with an 11-year-old, to be able to do these things. But this list really is a tight list on ways to give yourself every opportunity to be successful. We'll talk a little more about time management as we go through but try to carve these things out from the beginning. I think the most important one is figure out how you learn best. And now that most everybody's been working home for about 9 months, I think we have a better sense. I know I have a better sense of how to be successful and focused on work in my space. For instance, I was at a card table for a while and that wasn't working. So now I have a desk. I mean, it seems like something small, but I'm definitely much more comfortable in my space. And so think about those things. And this last one, leveraging your network. I don't know how many times I'm going to be able to repeat this, but I'm going to keep trying. Ask for help. Engage the people around you. Take advantage of everything this program offers to you, because it's going to go by really fast. And you want to think right now what you want the takeaways to be. You're setting goals right now for the next 2 years. And you're doing that because there are going to be times where this is just plain hard. It's just plain hard to get through everything that you need to get through. And I want you to be able to remember why you're doing this. What's the purpose? Is it, like, this is what you need to do. You need to have a master's degree to do X, Y, and Z in your company or in the place you want to work. You want to work in, you want to be able to look at those jobs where it says master's required and feel confident applying to them. Those sort of things. Just remember what made you, in the last 6 months decide, I think going to grad school is going to be a really good idea. Let's go do it. And you write it down on a sticky note so that you're right there remembering why you're up at 11:45 at night to meet your 11:59 due date. Oh, and by the way, everything you submit is time-stamped, so just keep that in mind. Like, we do know if it's on time or not. So something new that I set up over the course of, most of December I worked on it. In each course in Engage, and hopefully you all know that Engage is the learning platform that we use. There are the blue buttons. So you've got sort of the name of your course, Spec 600, and then under it what you see here is the blue buttons. Professional development, smack dab in the middle, is new. And I suggest you go on and sort of check things out with this. What I've done is put together, really sort of like assess where students need some extra support. I rely heavily on LinkedIn Learning. Each button that you go to, you're going to see the first link is the LinkedIn Learning. It takes you to the AU page and has you sign in. You all have access to that. And if you don't have a LinkedIn account, you should have one. Like, professionally, very smart thing to do. Even if you're not posting all the time, get on LinkedIn. The things that you're going to see on there are for academic and business writing. Statistics. You guys in your third course will be, I believe, Spec 660, which is data-driven decision-making. And statistics, if you didn't take them in college or you took it in college, and college was a really long time ago, stats is something that probably is good to get a little review before you jump into these courses. I've posted 3 videos on basic statistics just so you can remember and get that foundational knowledge that you need. Same thing with Excel, data analysis, citing sources. If you haven't, I keep saying this, if you haven't done this in a while, because many of you were not in college last year, when you're writing papers and citing sources, you need to get it right. Plagiarism is a real thing. And don't want you to screw that up by mistake by not citing appropriately or losing points on something for not citing appropriately. The gold standard of websites is Purdue OWL, and there's a link in here, and I believe there are links in your syllabi for Purdue OWL. It pretty much answers your questions. And you shouldn't cite something wrong, because there are enough websites out there that you can find where you just say, here's the, here's the paper that I was reading and here are the authors, and boom, it'll do it for you. So there's just no excuse, and you don't want to lose points on something silly like that. And then there's also stuff on time management. So the professional development page is new. And I encourage you, if you find things that you're like, I really wish there had been information on this, or just where can I find information on this that we can, or you find something and you want to share with your classmates and with actually the whole program, I'd love to get that information. I certainly don't claim to be knowledgeable about every single thing out there. And the more information you guys give me, the more I can provide it to everybody. So who can help on campus? It might not feel like you're on campus, but you are an active, if campus was open, you're all welcome there. Of course, you can get your student ID on campus, which again, it's no time soon, but when we're back on campus, if you're in the area, you have access to the library, you have access to counseling center. You can do appointments with all of the offices if you're in the area. They also, in COVID, really pushed us to get there, are doing a good job at doing their thing online. Here's some big ones that you want to know. We come back to AU Central. It really links you to all the offices that you need when it comes to billing and accounts. If you and there are links on the pages. If you're a veteran and you're using GI Bill, it should be there. If it's not, you can really just Google American University Veteran Affairs Office, and it will get you to the right people. And student accounts and everybody works with VA frequently, so you have someone who will fully support you in those things. I don't know if we have any vets this time through, but we frequently have a couple per cohort. You can always start with AU Central, and they're going to push you in the right direction. Student accounts, one of the things Danielle and I want to let you know is that we don't get in the middle of you and student accounts. And I try to stay out of it as much as possible. I need just so much information about you and your billing information unless you have a block on your account. I can't fix it for you. And I want you to have that privacy. That's not to say we won't reach out if we need to, but you are the ones who are in charge with billing, payment plans, financial aid. All of those things are on you. Danielle and I really have no power to do anything with that. We will give you a pep talk. We will, remind you it's super easy. You just have to call these people. But here's also the right places to start on that. There are other resources. There are other resources that the campus offers that are online right now, all of which require appointments. So you kind of want to see the long game on this. Now, the Career Center is available to you, but I strongly encourage you to start internally with, reach out to me, and I will put you in touch with Bob, or I will see what I can do to help you out. The Career Center is a basic, sort of an overarching availability for the campus, and they do virtual job fairs and they do different workshops and such. And I always send that information out to you, and I encourage you to use it. But when you're getting a little more down in the weeds, maybe about a resume, or you're looking for jobs or something, please feel free to reach out to us, because I'd like to support you within the college as much as possible. The Counseling Center is doing online. I am a proponent of taking care of your mental and your physical health as much as possible, and will encourage you to reach out to the Counseling Center if you need to. I'll also encourage you to reach out to the people around you and any sort of other. I think counseling is awesome, and if you need the help, definitely get it. And if you need it to be through the university, you can do it. Just be really patient with getting an appointment, which is kind of the last thing you want to hear when you need some mental health, but it's the reality of resources. Now, here are things you want to know about. There's two things you guys deal with. You deal with Engage, and that's where your learning is. You deal with Eagle Services, and that's where your university information is. Okay, so try to think of them. They're two very different things. If you're having trouble with your courses, if you're having trouble with accessing your courses, any of that, you want to turn to Help with Engage. Personal, you can see the email address, you can see the phone number. Don't hesitate to give them a call. Danielle, is that available pretty much 24/7?
Yeah, the phone is available 24/7.
Right. So at 11:58, when you're getting ready to post something, if the wheels come off the bus, you can call them. I just want to put a pitch in here right now for picking up the phone and calling people. I had a couple students that had some financial aid issues, and they said, well, I wrote to them and it's been a week, they haven't gotten back to me. I encourage you not to, to pick up the phone, and it kind of jumps you to the front of the line because no one else is picking up the phone and calling. And it gives you a chance to have better communication. And, if you need to, I frequently call people because it's just, we kind of get through the emails back and forth and get right to what we need to talk about. And so if you're having trouble getting a hold of someone and you have the phone number, call it. Yeah. Although on the other hand, I live with someone who hates when the phone rings, and she does this, so-and-so's calling, and then she runs away from it. I was like, they probably want to talk to you. So, if I'm going to call you, I'll let you know what my area code is so that you actually will pick up the phone. But don't hesitate to just say, Jess, I want a Zoom call, or I want to talk in person so we can really hash these things out. Again, my job is to make sure that this program is the right fit and is giving you everything that you need. And sometimes it's better just to talk. And I don't know if you can tell, since I've been talking straight for the better part of 25 minutes, I like to talk a lot. I'm sure we could Myers-Briggs that. I think I'm an ENFP. All right, let's talk about academic status. This is not to worry you, but this is to put you on notice early. To be in good academic standing, after 9 credits, you have to have at least a 3.0. It's a B. If you're below a B after 9 credits at any time, you'll be put on probation. What that means is, you don't have to freak about that. What that means is you have 12 credits to bring yourself up to a 3.0. All right? Totally doable. Seldom do I have someone who can't do it. 12 credits is a big old chunk of space to do well. What I'll end up doing is I'll advise you, I'll say, okay, you're at a 2.7. And in the next 12 credits, you need to get 3 B pluses and a B. I made that up. I have no idea. But I will tell you exactly what you need to do to achieve the 3.0. And you will work one-on-one with me, and I will send you emails like weekly to every 2 weeks to just say, hey, how's it going? And that's when a conversation back and forth on the phone, just to let me know how things, what's going on. Now, if you get sick, if you get COVID sick, let me know right away, because we'll want you to provide some documentation to the Dean of Graduate Studies, and we can talk about what you need to do to kind of put a pin in it, get well, and then pick it back up without it completely screwing up your GPA. I would say that, we just went into our second term in a row without people on probation. So that's the pep talk. Is like, this is just a heads up, but this is the exception instead of the rule. All right. But just remember, now that you're in graduate school, it's a 3.0, whereas when you're an undergrad, you usually have to stay above a 2.0. Doable, totally doable. People do it. We have a couple high 175, 176 students registered at any given time. And again, everybody did a great job getting through. You're going to be that person as well. Another vocabulary word is DCX, and that's the DC experience at AU. Now, here's a nice picture of all of us at the Marriott, and that was the last time we did that in person. That was March of last year. We snuck this visit in 1 week before everything closed down. Matt Winkler leads us with DCX. I am support staff, and I like to use the word logistician because I think it sounds cool, but I'm the one that orders catering and gets and gets us Ubers. Obviously, we're not doing that in person. And in November, we did run one virtually, and it went really well. Got great feedback from students. We'll do it I think we're going to do it March 11th. I'm looking up, like I have a calendar in front of me. You guys will get a notice on it. Virtually, so here are the things that we do with DCX. This is our time to bring together everybody from all of the classes and alumni into the same space. And we did 2 keynote speakers, one on leadership and how to work how to be a leader in a team setting. And then we also had a keynote of a woman who does data-driven decision-making and writes cookbooks. So you never quite know what we're going to get there. We do career development. We do breakout sessions on, sorry, I just drew a blank there, but we even had Stephanie Shaw, who's our Assistant Dean of Online Learning, offer meditation. So there's a lot of different things out there. We talk about branding, and I'm constantly reaching out to people in the program and to say, hey, what do you want to hear about? What would be good? And utilizing the faculty on what they're able to bring to the table and add to it. I'm really looking forward to probably not this spring, but next fall when we can be back in person doing that. But in the meantime, we'll send out save the date. Mark your calendar. I've broken it up into different sessions throughout the day because not everybody can be online for 8 hours. But you'll know different times when different things are being offered, and we encourage you to be there all day, but if you can't, catch what you can. And the Marriott was really cool. We've been to the Hilton. We've been to Special Olympics. We went to WeWork. Right before WeWork, or right whilst WeWork, we're having some interesting issues going on. I can't think of the other places that we've been, Microsoft. So DC has some great opportunities, and Matt works hard to get us good connections and good places to go. And it's a lot of fun. I mean, Marriott, the whole bottom floor were models of all of their rooms. And their different hotel chains. So it was like IKEA for Marriott. And we all ran around like kids being like, oh, look at this, look at this, look at what this has. I think that's the purpose of that floor. But we also got access to talk to the chef. And as he was telling us, he talked a long time about fish. I really got to tell you, he went the distance on fish, but also, it's a test kitchen because this is their headquarters. And they have a whole bar set up so they can practice mixology. It was really cool to be able to see the inside of that. All right, guys, I promise we're getting to the end. This is a lot of me talking, but once you get all of this information, we won't have to do it again. Like I said, Dr. Stokes does career directions, and that's a program of workshops. We usually run them around noon to 1, and they are on everything from your personal branding, Myers-Briggs. I'm drawing a blank right now, but you will get emails about them. I apologize for that. And they're really good things to consider doing. And this is a benefit to the program, is that we have full-time faculty who have had a tremendous amount of experience, and we want to highlight that. Matt Winkler runs webinars, sports related. using usually a gentleman named Keith Scully, who's also a faculty in the sports program. And we continue to work on those. I've done, and will continue, and I'll keep doing lunch breaks where I bring in someone who's, if they're either alumni or they're faculty, or they have something to offer to talk about in a much more casual, a little more interview, but sharing what they do in the field in which you are, in which you're studying. And it's a great way to make connections. Dr. Bev Peters does a fantastic job with measurement and evaluation. And even if you're not in measurement and evaluation, it's absolutely, all of these are worthwhile showing up for. You're all invited. And it sort of gives you a chance to cross and get information. Maybe you were interested in healthcare prior. So I've got a couple people in mind that I'm going to do those with, and you'll get information as we go along. Kind of just letting you get settled in this semester before I start to throw a bunch of extra things at you. So this is where I want to wrap things up before we get to questions. I hope you participate in the extra, value-added extracurriculars that we're working hard all the time to bring to the program. Remember your goal. Remember when it's that dark day and you're either like up at 4 because that's the only time it's quiet and you have full bandwidth, or you're up wicked late. Just remember why you're doing this, because there are going to be times where you really want to just say, this is not for me right now, but you need to know why you're doing it. Just, it's gonna be 2 years of sprinting. And I encourage you to pace yourself. And if you can pace a sprint, I don't run, not on purpose. And sometimes I think if I was mugged, I wouldn't run away. I'd be like, what do you want? Because if it's something I can just give you, that's going to save me exercising. That would be great. But you have a lot of support around you, and ask for help when you need it. You don't have to do this alone. You don't have to know everything. You don't have to, this is what we do. When you ask me questions, I have job security. So, go ahead and ask me questions. Excuse me for 2 seconds real quick. All right. So here's the part where we're going to go to questions, but I realized that the slide I want to leave you with, and by the way, I'm going to send this out as a cheat sheet. I have this all written up in a Word doc for you. I encourage you to join us on social media. I'll push again, like if you don't have a LinkedIn, spend maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes today setting that up. I bet most of you do. And then you can find us on Facebook, obviously Twitter and Instagram. And it's for the whole specs. We're a full school, not just graduate online programs. So you'll see other information about our faculty that work in other programs, but do some pretty cool things. So with that said, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and have us come back and see if you all have any questions. That was a lot. That's a lot to take in. This is where I sit in the silence really poorly. You're either telling me I did an outstanding job or that I lost you on slide number 2. All right, last call on any questions, anything I can elaborate on, anything you want to know.
I have a question.
Yes.
Maybe I missed this in an email or somewhere else. Will the power?
Excuse me, Jess, the volume I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Oh, I get closer. How about now?
Better.
Okay. Will the PowerPoint be available on either the orientation module or somewhere else?
Yes, I am going to share this. I will link it. I will send it out to everybody as a review for people. And you guys are now everybody. And it will also be on the graduate professional studies page. And that's where I link all of the webinars, everything that we do that I record. I link it up there, but I frequently will reach out and tell you guys where it is. And I'll send it out. I'll tell you what I'll do is I'm going to send it. I have a list of everybody who's new in the program. I will specifically send that link out to all of you as well.
Thank you.
Sure. Matt, is there anything you wanted to add, or Bob, or both?
No, you did a great job talking about the DCX. It's one of the things I'm involved in. But you reiterate, yeah, getting behind is a big thing. And remember the cadence of sort of Wednesday night, Friday night. A lot of you, some will work, as you mentioned, all this, Jessica. There's some group projects where you sort of have to be a team. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this semester and a better 2021.
Thanks, Matt.
And I would just add, I mean, I think that the programs really offer you a chance to get to know your colleagues in class and use them as resources. We do a lot of peer-to-peer feedback that you might have a lot of knowledge in the area. You might have very little knowledge in the area, but you can contribute, your perspective to them, which can be really valuable. And you'll notice that you'll build projects through the course that you'll be able to have in your digital portfolio at the end when you do your capstone course, which I think really provides, it's something that's really valuable. I know that from talking to graduates who've been looking for jobs and been able to show that, here's something I specifically did that you can look at and see my knowledge and my ability to organize and being creative. And so it's something you really want to try to identify projects that are going to be meaningful to you and hopefully meaningful to your employer or potential employer.
Thanks, Bob. This program is going to be, you'll get as much out of it as you put into it. I mean, it's really kind of cliche, but it's asynchronous doesn't mean that it's cruise control. And it doesn't mean that you do it kind of when you want to. You certainly have flexibility, but make sure that you know the deadlines. And as Matt said, you'll get into the rhythm of knowing when things are due. And there's a lot of consistency across courses, for your benefit, so that not every course is a sort of a new experience. There gets to be a rhythm on it. Some are going to be easier than others. And so again, those resources that we're providing around statistics, data analytics, business and professional writing, take a look at them and use the Writing Center. The Writing Center is not going to write your content, but they're going to help you with your organization. And again, it's been a while since a lot of us have done any sort of academic or business writing, specifically technical writing for business writing. It's a lot tighter. If you have concerns or if you need help, we don't expect you to do this alone. You're not by yourself just because it's asynchronous. It's just asynchronous gives you some more flexibility. So I want to thank you all for joining us today. You can see my last name's Bancroft. My email is bancroft@American. We make that pretty easy. Danielle's is DA Jones, which I've gotten wrong a couple times typing that in, but don't hesitate to just check in, and I'll continue to check in with all of you. So let's consider this meeting over. I'm going to stop recording and